So hello and greetings everyone, this is Freya and Joy, and I like to do a following up program here about 5 ways that a rude person shows you this kind of behaviors before they're gonna be rude to you. And this is because I like to do this and some more programs to come as a following up of my YouTube series, Signs of a Narcissist. And I will do some programs now because I have some answers and questions. So I like to do a little bit more clarifications and information about this kind of behaviors. There is abusive behavior, there is rude behavior, there is this narcissistic behavior, and this is different names. And I am going to do programs to more specify how these behaviors is shown and what will come before you have these situations in your life. And I will clarify so you will have easier to see this coming, and also how you should act. Because one thing I would like to say is it's very important to know that you should not react, but you should know how to act consciously. So rude people like to and feel pleasure in finding that other people don't like to be treated like they treat people. So if you respond in a way that you don't like it, these rude people will actually have pleasure in that. So what they try to do is they first try to build up picture of themselves that is flattering. So they tell you about a lot of things that they are so great in. It will be anything they can make you believe. So they may have some small things to take it from. It can be some small parts, and then they build it up to a big thing. So they will give you like evidence that they are so great. They will give you also the picture that they have many friends. So they will try in many ways to, in the beginning of this relationship where they try to flatter themselves in front of you, they will maybe, if you are in their home, they will try to get people there when you are there. So you will think that this is their friends. And they will do this so you are like convinced that they have many friends, which it's not the truth. And here is why these rude people don't have a lot of friends. People who do not have positive energy because of their mean streak might not have a lot of friends. Sometimes it's a personal choice, but in some cases it could not be of their own choosing. Most people will avoid being friends with a rude person to keep conflict out of their life. If you spot these common behaviors, I will soon give you of someone who is rude. You will understand why they do not have a bigger social circle. 1. Always interrupting someone in a conversation, which shows they are not capable of listening or understanding. 2. Winning a lot and wasting time complaining instead of doing something about it. 3. a tendency to snap, snark, and scream at anyone. It won't matter if they're being mean to a woman, an elderly person, or a child. They can do it. And they often do it when they have a lot of upbuilt tension in themselves, so they don't have control. They just react on whatever goes on around them. They don't act consciously. 4, a superiority complex combined with an attitude of self-righteousness. 5, they can be arrogant or even act like a bully. 6, they'll usually want to call the shots and dictate the plans, but they'll regularly drop out of your plans and won't have the courtesy to reschedule if it's necessary. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, impolite behavior, such as not responding to messages or text on time. And if you talk to them and tell them something that is important to you, they will not listen. They will not listen. They will only think it's important with what they have to say. Some argue, however, that rudeness or offensive behavior may not be a personal assault against you. In some cases, this is a coping mechanism for people with anxiety issues or anger management problems. This isn't to say that you should overlook a person's rudeness because he or she may need psychological intervention. It should raise a red flag that someone is having a tough time dealing with her or his personal issues if she or he is taking it out on others, like you in this case. So I think it's point number 4 I'm saying here now, this about mean people. Mean people. We consider them mean because they use not only actions, what we usually call actions, but they also use harsh words. And actually harsh words is also kind of action, actually. It is. They use it on people to get attention. And if she or he find harsh words towards other people and no one is calling her or him out, you may find yourself at the receiving end of this harshness. So to use kind and positive words is also about seeing other people as equals. This is what that is about. In the beginning, she or he might show charisma and niceness around you and other people. She or he might even show commendable manners and behaviors until you realize that it's all a front. It's all a front. But no matter how much she or he masks themselves, a true nature of a person with rude behavior will show up. It will show up and people will see through this. People will see through this. The longer you hang out with this type of person, the more evident she's or his views, prejudices, and demander will be. For instance, you could be friends or in a relationship with a guy who's actually a sexist. This can be woman or man, I like to say. The shift in behavior might surprise you because she or he didn't behave offensively before. It's possible, however, that he's no and she is no longer concerned about your opinion. They don't even listen to what you say. They don't care 1 second about what you say anymore. Or that she or he not really are interested in the relationship anymore either. They have just had their little show, and then it's nothing more than now they just want to be rude. In the same way, rude people may also project their behavior as a racist slight. If you are in another country and people begin to point at you that you have a special accent and you should go home to your country, that is racist behavior. And that is rude. So they may say things like, not a racist, but blah, blah, blah. That is racist. They dish out racist joke and might even display microaggressions. They might make derogatory sentiments intentionally or unintentionally toward people of color to the point that you'd be embarrassed to be with them. And this can go to so many different situations that rude people will do. And of course, it's all about that they have no sense of themselves and they don't respect themselves and they don't have any self-confidence. So that's one thing, but you gotta know all these signs and you gotta know what your choices is, how you can act. And as I said before, it's not about reacting because that's never good, but you have to learn to act consciously. So, but in the most cases, people who are rude won't be apologetic. They have maybe jokes and are disrespectful or prejudiced. And you will very seldom see a rude person have an apologize for their behavior. Very seldom, if ever. They won't also understand how their teasing can affect others. They will rationalize their choice of words and might even tell you it is your fault for taking their statements so seriously. So I will talk as loud as I can and hope you can hear what I have to say, even if the sun is going down where I sit, and this is the birds saying thank you for today around me here. This is Australia. So the fifth point, they won't feel remorseful. These kind of people won't feel remorseful. When you're having a bad day or a terrible, stressful time, you may have the tendency to lash out on people. If you're cranky and up to no mood to have kids around, you might snap at your friend, co-worker or partner. But moments like this are usually followed by intense feelings of guilt, so you apologize for the outburst and try to make amends. If necessary, you might even have a serious sit-down conversation and do your best to make the other person feel better after you've hurt their feelings. Now, this is how emotionally mature individuals handle themselves when they have offended someone. But rude and cold-hearted people don't have the capacity to be remorseful or even feel guilty. I say once more, rude and cold-hearted people don't have the capacity to be remorseful or feel guilt. If they have an outburst, they will always find excuses to justify their behavior. They might say things like, I haven't had coffee yet. What do you expect? I'm not a morning person. He was being disrespectful to me, so I cursed at him. Bad temper runs in my family, so I can't help it. Or they might say, I'm under a lot of pressure at work and you didn't give me space. So, it's easy for rude people to completely disregard the feelings of others, since they don't have an empathic heart. They have no empathic heart. They don't know what empathy is at all. This is rude people. You won't hear them apologize. Instead, they might even make it sound like you should appreciate them for being upfront or something like that. They will always find something as an excuse for them being hurting your feelings or hurting you in some way. This is how rude people work. And I would like to thank you for listening to this program today, and I welcome you to listen to my next one. I will go on to give you more information about abusive people who are rude, and also other kind of people who don't take their actions, that is also their words, from their heart. So thank you so much. I wish you a beautiful day. Blessings and much love from me, Freya. Enjoy.